52 have lost their jobs in 2006 alone, but that hasn't stopped two young prospects taking their chances this week. Dennis Wise is the new manager at Leeds, and Paul Ince has taken the top job at the bottom club, here in Macclesfield. Well, Paul, as a player we knew you as the governor, you're now the gaffer. How's it feel?
It feels a bit strange. No, I mean it's been a good week. I was a bit nervous the first couple of days because it's like going back to school again, first managerial job. But I've got stuck into it now, and I'm enjoying every minute of it.
Let me throw a statistic at you, Paul. 52 managers have lost their jobs in 2006. Why bother?
Obviously, I don't intend on losing mine. But I understand the task ahead, and it's a challenge. I've never shirked a challenge in my life. I never will do, and hopefully at the end of the season we'll all be smiling.
There aren't many smiles among other new recruits though. In fact, a quarter of recent sackings have involved first-time managers, and half of these individuals never make a return to the hot seat. Dennis Wise is one big-name player who's successfully made the transition to management. After guiding Millwall to the FA Cup final, he made real waves in the West Country at Swindon, before Leeds came calling this week. An interesting move for a man with so much Chelsea history.
OK, I had a successful time at Chelsea as a player, but that was as a player, and now I manage Leeds United. I'm part of Leeds United now, so they're going to have me here, and I'm looking forward to it, to be honest.
The two former international teammates were never ones to shirk a challenge for club or country, and the new Leeds boss says it might be time for his new players to get nasty.
I told them I want them to be a bit like the Leeds of before, who were horrible, and I don't mean that. The players, the players on the pitch, it was, and I want a bit of nastiness and togetherness. So that's what I want.
I've worked under some great managers, Ferguson, Hoddle, Steve Van people like that. But you have your own identity. You have to be your own manager, your own person. And as time goes on, I'll begin to understand and see what kind of manager I'm going to be.
I think what he brings to this club is a passion and a winning personality and a strong will.
You can tell the difference. We've had the new gaffer in 3 days, and the lift it's given everyone, in training, as I say, just for the 3 days, and you notice a difference straight away.
I don't look at failure. I always look at trying to be successful. I don't worry about where the team is at the moment. I would relay that to the players. Don't worry about the position we are, because I believe the stuff that we will do in the next 3 or 4 or 5 weeks will get us out of trouble. I'm only looking upwards, not downwards.
For a player, it's the best job in the world if you can play. And the second best job in the world is being a coach or being a manager. But it's only the second best job in the world if you can do it. We're talking about abandoning any thoughts, any status, any prestige that you might have had as a player, and recognising that this is a totally different ballgame.
Despite the warnings, former players keep having a go. Ince is the 6th member of England's Euro 96 squad to try his hand in the dugout. And 2 of the boys of 96 go head-to-head in an early Premiership 6-pointer on Monday.
Because it was a team that had more leaders in it than any team I've ever played in. There were probably 7 or 8 club captains or future club captains within the team. So it doesn't surprise me that people from that group have gone on to want to have a crack at management.
The average length of time spent in the job is another alarming statistic for management hopefuls. When the Premiership first started, managers lasted over 3 years on average. Now it's under 2.
It's a ridiculous trend, in my opinion. I know my job, and I know exactly what's needed from start to the end of the season. And that's why when I was sat here this time last year and people were telling me how good I was doing, I said wait until the end of the season. The same story will come out now. Wait till the end of the season, then judge me on how I've done at the football club.
You just need time to get your ideas across and to get the full team out and hope that things progress in the right way.
People buy football clubs. They think they can do what they want. Well, they can.
If you like a settled home and a settled carry-on, don't become a football manager.
It seems nowadays every week there's a new manager set for the chop. Is the whole thing getting out of hand, Martin?
Well, you know, I suppose it comes with the territory. You know, you're a manager, you know the consequences if you don't get results. But I think there's a clamour at the moment, and every week it's a different individual. And, you know, I think they've got to be given time. If you look at or every case individually, a Pardew, for instance, you know, I think he's done an outstanding job there. And all of a sudden now he's under great pressure. And it's really not fair, but, you know, I know he'll cope with it. But, you know, next week it'll be somebody else.
Yeah. Well, this week, as you mentioned, is Alan Pardew's turn to be on the back pages. How close is he, perhaps, Mark?
I think he's all right. I really do. I think they're a good football club, West Ham. I think they're sensibly run. So I see someone even trying to write a story that the chairman came in and tore a strip off them all in the dressing room, which is absolute rubbish. Actually came in and said to Alan Pardew, look, we've been there before. You know, let's get on with it. And I think they're a sensible club, and obviously he needs to win a game, because that's the nature of the business. But I don't see him being the first person for the side.
Arguably, Preston in the playoffs season or so ago was more pressure than now. At least now he can say, look, I've got you to the Premiership, got you into your FA Cup final. But it's the nature, like Martin says, the pressure builds. Fans, chairman come under it, and then how good is your chairman, and how much is the belief in that manager? And you look back and you see the Alex Fergusons and the Howard Kendalls, and at their times they were close to the sack, and then look, they were given that bit of time, and look what they went on to achieve.
I think Stuart Pearce raised a good point this week, that there should be a transfer window for the managers as well. You know, maybe
makes for a busy January, doesn't it?
Well, it certainly would, but maybe they do need that kind of, you know, that time to bed in. I mean, we're looking at Wise now and Paul Ince. You know, they need time, these guys. They're new in the job. Gareth Southgate. It's great to see all these guys coming in.
Yeah, interesting, those two managerial appointments. Dennis Wise at Leeds, a good one?
Well, yeah, I mean, I think Dennis he did quite well at Millwall, didn't he? FA Cup final, Europe. Good start at Swindon. I've played with Dennis. I know he's a leader. There's that relationship with Ken Bates, who treats him like a second son. Is that a good thing or not? At least you know he's going to get that little bit of backing, and one would think the bit of time that we're all talking about.
And Paul Ince started at the bottom of the football chain, is at Macclesfield.
Yeah.
Brave move, or... You know, maybe you could have, dare I say, a stupid move on behalf of
You dare say, and you just have. It's obviously something he wants to do, isn't it? I mean, the great thing from Paul Ince's point of view is that come January he can actually play, and you know, if he wants to, and he can influence and shape the team. I think, which is, you know, Dennis Wise did that at Millwall. Hoddle did it first at Swindon. And I do think it makes such a difference, because undoubtedly he'll become their best player if he plays. So. It's just an interesting one, isn't it? But it's funny, you know. It's great, and then all of a sudden you get in the office and you close the door, and you suddenly think, oh my! Well, I can't say what it's lunchtime, but you can imagine what. We get
the idea.
Okay.
Is we're getting this generation of players
English
now.
as well.
Clearly, they're comfortably off, all the people that we've mentioned, but they love the game, and so they've gone back into it. And you know, I hope that they will do very well.
Sure.
You didn't say Wise moved, did you? Did he use that?
No,
one?
he didn't. No. But you did. Let's.